Hey guys, in this lecture, we wanna talk about how to create a plain fabric using Substance 3D Designer. Okay, so first of all, we wanna create a new Substance graph. Okay, so I wanna use a empty and I don't have any output. If you see in metallic roughness, we have some output the same way. If you go here, we have some output nodes, but we want to start from empty, okay, and just say okay. But before that, yeah, make sure you are using this size, okay. But later, yeah, we will change to this, okay, when we will export our file. So now just say okay, okay. And now I can see my graph view. I don't have anything here. Why? Because I selected empty graph. Yeah. So first, let's see this part. So you can see it's saying unsaved package. It means it like we need to save it. Okay. So you can go here, click on this, and now you can find the location. Okay. So where do you want to save it? You can select that, and let me save it here. So this is my plain fabric. I want to create fabric and just say save. Okay, so now you can see it's not saying unsaved. Okay, so we already saved. Okay, so next thing, we want to create our first node. Okay, so let's start with a base material. So if you don't know how to bring a node here, so there are three ways. So one, you can drag it from here, like suppose I wanna this color. Okay, so I have this uniform color here, so I can do that. Or I can't see my library. Let me turn on. I can go to my library and I can find a node, like let me find a shape. Yeah. Go here and I have the shape. I can drag and drop here. Or I can go to my graph view and I can press my space bar on my keyboard and now I can type. So suppose I want to bring a base material. So you can see we have this here. Okay, so we want to start with this. Okay, so in base material, you can see we have some output node, output connections, but we don't have anything here. Okay, so let me show you how to add that. Okay, so when I'm clicking on this, it means I can see properties here. I can see these parameters here, okay, under properties. So let me go down and I want to bring some input nodes. Okay, so suppose I want to bring color. Okay, so I can click this. So now you can see I have a input node. It's for base color. The next, maybe I want a normal map. I can do that. Next, let's do for ambient occlusion. Okay, so this way we can add these input node. Yeah, another thing, maybe you wanna adjust metallic properties. So suppose you don't wanna metallic properties in your fabric, you can make it 0. And yeah, you can increase roughness value if you want. Okay, so now let me show you how to add a normal node or ambient occlusion node. Okay, so for that, what you can do, you can go here and again press your space bar and find normal. Okay, so you can see we have here, or you can go here and you can drag it. Okay, so let me click on this and I have this, and now I want to connect this output node with this normal input node. So what I can do here, I can left click and I'm going here and I wanna connect this. Okay, so I'm still pressing and holding left click and now leave it. Okay, so now I have my first connection. So suppose you wanna connect ambient occlusion, right? So what you can do, you again press space bar and say occlusion. Okay, let me find a occlusion. Okay. Yep, I'm typing it right. Okay, let me go back and check. Yep, it's here. So we wanna use this one. Okay, the first one. And yeah, the best thing here is like you can read this description like so this ambient occlusion, it's a horizon based AO filter and it takes a height map as a input. Okay, so you can read this description if you want. And now we have our another node here and we want to connect it again. You can left click and you can connect this. Okay. Okay, so now I have some nodes here. Okay, and but still, like you can see, I have this yellow sign here. It's saying I don't have any output node. Uh, I didn't define them. Okay, so let's do that. So how to do that? You can right click and you can say, I wanna create output node. Okay. And just say create nodes for hidden connectors. Say no. Okay. So whatever I can see, I wanna create node for that. So now we have some output node and you can see we don't have that triangle here and we like we have these map or nodes you can see here output node. Next thing we need to do here, so let's keep it here and let's go to this side. Okay, so we can start working on our yarn and then fabric. Okay, so let's go here and now suppose we want to start with a basic unit of a fabric, a fiber, or I can say yarn. Okay, so we don't have yarn in this. We want to create that. Okay, so let's press space bar and find a fiber. Okay, so we can make our yarn using that. Okay, so now if you see, we have our fiber. Okay, and it looks good. We can use this. Okay, but if you see properties, like we don't have anything here, we have just styling, like we can increase that or decrease that, but I don't want to move that. But there's another way I can do this. I can transform this. Okay, so how to do that? So for that, I have another node. We call it 2D transform. Okay, so go here and just say transformation 2D. So let's bring that. So transformation 2D, let me show you how to use that. So let me connect this. Okay, and now you can see like we have this and like suppose you wanna make it small, you can do that. Okay, you can press and hold shift key and you are making it small, or you can press and hold shift and control and you can do it like that, or you can press alt key and you can press alt key and you can add some skewness. Okay, but here we wanna do this. We wanna press and hold control key and we wanna make it a little narrow. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we wanna do this, and we wanna divide this by 2. Okay, so let's go to these parameters and say I wanna divide by 2. Okay, so you can try these. Like if you wanna divide by 2, it means you can see more fibers. Okay, so let me do it again. So can you see? Now we have more fibers, and if you are using this multiply, okay, so now we are at same stage. So let me do it once. Now next thing we wanna do here, we wanna add a shape. Okay, why? Because like you can see, we have this continuous fiber shape, and we wanna convert this into a oval shape. Okay, so for that we need a shape from here. So you can drag it from here, or you can press space bar and you can bring this shape. Okay, and now when I'm in shape, you can see in properties, it's saying like what kind of shape you want. Like we have different options, like you want a disc, you want a bell shape, Gaussian. Okay, so for this purpose, like we want an oval, but we don't want to like disc. Okay? You can see it's pretty sharp. So let's take bell, and in bell we wanna adjust like we wanna scale 1, but we wanna adjust this. So let me make it a little bigger so we can get that oval shape, and this part we wanna make a little smaller. Okay, so now we have that oval shape, and we can use that. Okay, so to combine these two nodes, we need a new node. So for this purpose, we can use a blend node. So let me go to blend. Okay, and now we can combine them. Okay, so I wanna use this, or let me do let me select both, and I can press X key. Okay, and now I have this. Okay, so now I want to see this, but I want to change blending mode. Okay, I want to make it multiply so I can see just this part. Now in like after blending, I can say looks good, but still like these edges are not sharp. Okay, so what I can do, I can change grayscale a little bit, okay, by using levels. Okay, so let me bring my levels. Okay, so levels are same thing usually we use in Adobe Photoshop. So we have here, and I can move these, and I can remove that part, and you can see it's pretty sharp. Like I have white here, it's not gray. So I want to see this, that I want to bring little white. I don't want to go like that. Okay, I want to see some gray, and it looks good. Yeah, one thing, did you notice like we can't see this in our 3D views? And so let me let me do that. Okay, so first we need to connect our node. Okay, so let me go here and connect this to normal. Yeah. And now I want to connect this to ambient occlusion, but before uh, I do that, let me show you another trick. Okay, so instead of doing from there, you can press and hold control key and you can borrow this. Okay, and now you have this, but still we can't see in 3D view. Okay, so let me go here, right click, and you can say I want to view in 3D. Okay, so now you can see in 3D. Okay, so we have this here. But now it looks pretty good, except we wanna see some noise in this, okay? Because usually when we see a yarn, we have some small fibers around our yarn. So we wanna see those. And for that, we need to add a noise. So let's find noise. Okay, so when I'm typing noise, I'm getting so many filters, and from here I wanna use um, yeah, I can use directional noises from here, but I wanna use directional scratches. Okay, and again, like I wanna combine these, so I need a blend. Okay, and now I can connect this, and yeah. So let's press a shift key and click here and move your connections like that. Okay. Or let me press X key. Okay, and now I can see I need to change my multiply mode. Okay. And let's change it. Okay, so first thing I wanna reduce scale, and I wanna reduce this amount. So let's keep it just a little bit. 0.2 will be fine. And even I can play with this. So let me go for 2.94. And here, let me make it 40. Let's see. Looks good, but I think I need to do like that. I change pattern amount, I change scale. And another thing I can do here, I can change this opacity. Let me make it 0.5. Yep, I don't want to do that. So now it looks fine, and this is ready. So let me select everything, and I want to add a frame. Okay, so I can go here and I can click on this frame and I can give a name. So this is my yarn. Okay, so I can say my base yarn. Okay. And you can see that name here, and even you can go for a different color like green. Okay, so whatever color you want to choose, you can choose that. Okay, so it's here. You can See, we have some frames here. Okay, so you can select that. So next thing, we wanna tile it. Okay, so we can get our fabric pattern. Okay, so for that, let me press space bar, and I wanna bring a tile generator. Okay, and I wanna press and hold shift key, and I wanna move this here, and I wanna connect to this one input image. Okay, or pattern input, I can say. And here, and now you can see it's a brick, but we wanna use image input. Okay, and now you can see it look like this. And let's do some settings. So make sure you click here. So when I'm clicking twice on this, I can see properties, and I can see this in 2D view. Okay, but like suppose you wanna see 2D view of this. So what you can do, you can double click, and now you have this. And now if you click on this, you can see properties of this. Okay, because I have just this here, and I have this like this symbol is for 2D view. Okay, so I can see this in 2D. And now I want to see this in 2D and my properties. Okay, so now let's make it a little dense. Okay, so I change X amount, Y amount. Okay, and I have this here. I wanna change size. Okay, let me do this so you can see what's going on. And I want to change this. I want to make it 0.88. And I want to add this 0.50 or 51. Can go for that. And I want to change scale. I want to make it 5. I want to add some randomness. And definitely I want to do some offset. Okay, so let me go here and let's move this. And let's add some randomness, 0.001. And rotation, you want to add some randomness, 0.01. And in color, definitely we want to change this blending mode. We want to make it max. Now let me change this. It's not working. Okay, so let's make it 124 and give me a bigger number here. Okay, so it's 800. Okay. Or 858. Now looks good. Okay, so you can see now we have some randomness, and we have our weft yarn. Okay, and now let me make a copy. Okay, so let me go here and say duplicate selection, and I want to rotate this. So let me go here and rotation I wanna 90 degree. So this will be my warp yarn. Okay, so this is warp, this is weft, and now we want to combine them. So we need a blend knot. And let me move this. So press and hold shift key, and I want to move it here. And I have my weft, and here I have my warp. And let me change my blending mode. And I think we need to change offset. Okay, so let's keep this view, and we want to change offset for our var. Okay, so let me go here and let me change this. It looks fine to me. And let me take a look here. And even I can change my mesh. I can go to cloth. And now I can see. And I can see a black color here. Let me remove that. I can go to ambient occlusion, and I can reduce this high def to 0.01. Okay, I think it will make some difference. And another thing I can do here, I can go to this transformation 2D, and I can change this. Okay. And if you want to see colored, you can take this and you can select a color. And we have our basic fabric, or I can say our plain weave. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.